Hi, and welcome to NickFitMTG.com. It's been a long time since my last stream, and a lot of things have happened to NickFit since then. Between the printing of Grist and Endurance, and the whole thing with Smog and Witherbloom. So I wanted to stream this deck just because I feel there aren't as many videos about the Smog Fit variant, and so I figured I'd try to stream this one and see what happens. I've only practiced it maybe about five or so best of threes, so bear with me if I make some mistakes. Um, it uses a pretty similar mana base to what NickFit has, but there's a couple changes. It's running 6 basics. A lot of NickFit decks run 7. It's running 6, but it has a second Phyrexian Tower to sack the Arena Rectors, and it has 2 Cavern of Souls to make the Arena Rectors and the Veteran Explorers, and really almost every creature in the deck, Witherbloom Apprentice, they're all humans, so Cavern of Souls can make all of them uncounterable. The combo, if you're unaware of it, is Witherbloom Apprentice or Professor Onyx. When combined with Chain of Smog, which is here, you can target yourself with Chain of Smog, and you can copy it as many times as you would like to. You do have to discard your hand, but each time you copy it, it drains the opponent for 1. They lose a life, you gain a life. So if they don't have any interaction that targets creatures, and they don't have any interaction that targets spells, they just lose the game on the spot. And the combo doesn't take that long to finish on MTGO. You can't just like Chain of Smog and say the opponent loses like you can in paper. Provided they're at like 20, 30 life, like it doesn't take that long. You can do the whole thing in about a minute on MTGO. Most opponents will just concede though when they see the combo. Couple other differences from a lot of NickFit variants. It's running 2 Diabolic Intents. This is a card that I think is not very good in most NickFit decks, but it works really well here. One of the reasons why is it combos really well with Arena Rector. You can have an Arena Rector in play, and if you cast Diabolic Intent, you sack the Arena Rector, you get Professor Onyx, Diabolic Intent gets Chain of Smog, and you can win on the spot. So that's one of the reasons why it's particularly strong here. Under normal conditions, I'm sort of not a big fan of this card because it's just hard to find fuel for the fire a little bit. To find creatures that you just want to sack. Sometimes it can just be a dead card in your hand, and that's always sort of a concern. The second bit of fuel for it is Grist. Grist works really well. It's a zenithable sack outlet for your Arena Rectors or Veteran Explorers. It's become pretty much a staple of most NickFit decks if they're running Green Sun Zenith. Because Green Sun Zenith, because it counts as a 1/1 insect everywhere other than the battlefield, you can Zenith for it, you can put it into play off of, an opponent's show and tell or anything like that. So it has a lot of applications. It's not running Abrupt Decay, and it's going with Assassin's Trophies. The reason for that is to target Leyline of the Void or things like that. They would prevent your Arena Rectors from dying. The 4 Arena Rectors, the only targets for them are Grist, Professor Onyx, and Ugin. Ugin, against a lot of decks, can just win the game. Some decks, it still doesn't. You got to sort of worry about it. I'm a little... I haven't really resolved one of these against Delver since they got Murktide. Because, Murktide is one of the creatures that Ugin can't kill. So we'll see whether this is as good as it used to be. It's possible that it isn't. If they do have a Murktide before they have it, you can always get Professor Onyx and tick her down 3. So that's a possibility. The sideboard, it's got sort of a light Graveyard Hate suite. Veil of Summer to protect the combo. Endurance to sort of protect ourselves against combo, and doubles as sort of like decent against Delver. It can be a blocker. Opposition agents are sort of a weird one, but I think they fit here. I'm going to try them out. Maybe it's just because I've been playing a lot of Dead Guy Ale, but anytime you have a Cavern of Souls on human, I feel opposition agent isn't that bad. You could hit anything from lands to Doomsday to things like that. So I feel opposition agent is decent as a sideboard card. Any deck running Knight of the Reliquary, Elvish Reclaimer, Crop Rotation, anything like that, opposition agent is super good. Force of Vigor are really well positioned right now because like there's a bunch of Urza's Saga decks around, and it's just always sort of a pretty good card. Mindbreak Trap for combo, and Prismatic Ending is just sort of all around pretty good. It can hit it almost everything. Notably, I cannot get to 4 mana with this deck, so I can't kill a Leyline of the Void, which is why I'm still opting for Assassin's Trophies. So that's the deck, and I think with that, I'm gonna hop into a league and see how it goes. Cool. So let's see here, Legacy League, Smog Rector, 100 play points. Let's do it. All right. It's been a while since I've put a NickFit deck through a league. I think the last time I did this, it was Bug. I feel like Bug got some tools. You know, it got Grist, it got Endurance, but I feel like some of the other decks just got more. So I don't know. It's hard for me to say like how well positioned NickFit is right now. The format has sped up since Modern Horizons 2 came out. I feel a little bit, you know, Ragavan on turn 1 is a real threat. This deck at least has, you know, you can just go Cavern on Human, cast a Veteran Explorer. Veteran Explorer blocks Ragavan super well. And if they, you know, bolt it or something, you can Plow or Assassin's Trophy, hopefully. So that's the plan against that. We'll see how well that works. But yeah, I feel the format is a lot faster than it used to be. And there's still a lot of combo around, which is sort of a problem, which is, you know, kind of why I wanted to try a combo NickFit variant, because I feel like having that backup plan, or in this case it's like definitely the primary plan of just hit the I win button, you know, Smog with Witherbloom Apprentice and win the game. I feel like that's kind of necessary in the current meta to have something that really like closes the game, or if not closes it, really, you know, really slams the door pretty early. You got to really have that, or you're going to be in trouble, I feel, in the current meta. Grist in all my testing has been really good as a green sun target. You know, being able to kill a Planeswalker or something like a Murktide has been really good. I mean, you still have to get to 4 mana to green sun them out, but it's been pretty good. So I'm happy there, and also Endurance has been really good. You know, I feel like those pieces really helped NickFit. I just feel like other decks got faster. You know, notably like the Delver matchup, which I thought was extremely favorable before Modern Horizons 2. Maybe it started to turn a little before that because those decks were starting to get really fast. But I feel like that matchup, you know, it's been a real tough one after Modern Horizons 2. You know, if they just go like Ragavan with Daze or Force Backup, or, you know, even Ragavan dashing on turn 2 has been somewhat problematic. So yeah, it's just tricky. That matchup's hard. And then there's been a lot of depths, which a lot of NickFit decks that don't run white, I think, struggle a little bit with depths. You know, if you have white, you have Swords to Plowshares, which is really good. But if you're in blue, you know, yeah, maybe you can block it for a turn, but then you still need sort of a permanent answer. So I feel like NickFit, I don't want to say it's in a tough spot, tougher than normal. You know, NickFit is always sort of not a tier 1 deck, but I feel it's in a tricky spot. All right, let's see. All right, I don't think I've played this person. Okay. I mean, this hand is okay. I feel Thoughtseize and Collector Ouphe hold them off. It has 4 mana and a sack outlet for Arena Rector. Like, I think this is an okay hand here. I'm going to see how this goes. I'm on the draw, which is not ideal, but, you know, if they do have like a Thoughtseize, that's kind of a problem. But, okay. Well, here we are, playing that the blue-red Delver matchup, so we'll see how this goes. Alright. Okay, I'm going to try to fetch basics here as much as possible, because that'll really help me to get to 4 mana. Although this might be a pretty hard race with Thoughtseize. You know, and if they flip the Delver right here, that's going to be a lot of damage, a lot of pressure real early, and I have no removal. Alright, well, maybe I don't take those 2 damage. It's alright. Alright. Come on, no flip. Alright, got lucky. Always nice to, you know, if they just flip that Delver on turn 1, that's a ton of pressure. Okay. So I don't think I think I'm gonna play the Collector Ouphe, because, you know, it's probably just gonna eat a bolt or something like that. So I'm gonna play the Collector Ouphe. It doesn't do anything in this matchup, I don't think, like at all. But, you know, if they don't flip the Delver, it's gonna block. Yeah, sure. Eats a bolt. It's 3 damage not going to my face. Let's see what my opponent's got. Okay, they got a Ponder. Alright. So the race is sort of on here. Witherbloom sometimes can help you, like, stabilize in life. You know, just gaining, you know, 2-3 extra life maybe over the course of a couple turns if it does. I mean, I have no instants and sorceries in my hand, so it's not going to do anything here. But you know, it's something. Okay. I'm debating whether I should Swords it here and then play Witherbloom Apprentice. I think that's, or I could play into Daze. I think my opponent's pondered already, so I you know, they could very easily have some amount of counter magic. I think I'm gonna just fetch a basic and Swords, and then I'll play Witherbloom Apprentice. I know it's sort of out of order, but I think that's better. And I am going to play the Witherbloom Apprentice because you know, in the event they have like a dash Ragavan, I would rather they, you know, have to use something. I'll play the Witherbloom into Daze, like that's not a problem at all. I'm trying to bait out some sort of spell here. My opponent still has 4 cards in hand. And I definitely don't want to play the Arena Rector into Daze. The Arena Rector is sort of my win condition here. Let's see, is this going to be a Murktide? Probably not. I would assume they wouldn't. Let's see what this is. Oh, it is a Murktide. Alright. Well, that's a big boy. That is a pretty fortunate draw. So I'm going to just play it here. Worst case, I gain a life, but, you know, this is pretty good. Interestingly, my opponent's on Grixis, so I'm wondering, you know, they might not have basics. We'll see what they have here. So Daze won't do it, but Force will. Okay. Oh, I thought that was going to be a Force, but it wasn't. Alright, cool. So I guess I can attack here because if they have Ragavan, I have the Karakas for Ragavan. So they would need like a Wasteland and a Ragavan. It's possible, but you know, I don't know if that's that big of a worry. Alright, Brainstorm. So my opponent's got a dig. No answers. Feels like I'm in a pretty good spot, because next turn I have Phyrexian Tower, play the Arena Rector, and then sack it if possible. And I'll probably just get Ugin if this all succeeds. Bolt on the Witherbloom, that's fine. Alright, just 2 cards. So my opponent could have Force, but oh, please tell me this isn't another Murktide. As long as this is just a 4/4, it would be a 5/5 Murktide, I guess. Trouble. Okay, so what I can do here is I can get Professor Onyx and force my opponent to sack the Murktide. So that'll be my plan here. And if they have Daze, they have Daze. But if they have Daze, rather, I can pay for it, but they can't force here. So Professor Onyx is the choice here, because I can't kill that thing with Murktide, or with Ugin. Ugin can only just do 3 damage or exile, so I'm gonna go with the Professor Onyx here, because this one can make my opponent sacrifice. And let's hope they don't have something else. If they don't have something this turn, like if they don't have something hasty or a lightning bolt. Oh, tell me this isn't a dash Ragavan. Okay, that's okay. It's not good, but it's not good for me. Expressive Iteration is still very strong, but you know, could be worse. At least Professor Onyx is going to be a 2-for-1. Worst case, I think. Okay. Okay. So they're going to Expressive Iteration again. And I guess they're hoping for a bolt here. Could play a Delver. Delver won't. Delver I'll get a tick up with Onyx. Oh, they got it. Yep. Okay. Well, that's not that good. So I'll probably play the Prismatic Vista and just hold up here. You know, I do want to get to Ugin mana so that I can hardcast it, but, you know, yeah, there it is. That'll take me out in a few turns. I don't know if I'm not gonna fetch the Thin here. Not yet. Alright, that's an okay draw. I'm gonna play the Phyrexian Tower. I'll do it like that. Force of Negation? Totally. Alright. Alright. I'm not gonna respond to Delver. Oh, and they got a Force of Will, which is pretty good. Alright. It's a 4-turn clock. Alright, Cavern is something. Cavern on human at least gives me another out. So I'm gonna just pass. But that gives me something. What do they got here? Is this okay? Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Brazen Borrower. Okay, now it's a 2-turn clock. So this is trouble. So I will definitely thin with the Prismatic Vista, because if I don't draw something, I think I'm just dead. My opponent, they could have not drawn a blue card, which means so I think my best draw here, if they don't have a blue card, you know, at least I'll resolve whatever I cast. But what I really want here is probably Arena Rector, because if I get Arena Rector, I can get Ugin, tick him down by 3, and wipe my opponent's board. So that's my best draw. Witherbloom Apprentice is not going to do it, so this is game. All right. I mean, I can cast Witherbloom, but it doesn't do anything. My opponent has lethal on board, and there's nothing I can do. They have Force of Will up too. All right. Well, that's a tough one. So Grixis Delver. All right. That's unfortunate. So in the Grixis matchup, I think I definitely want the Prismatic endings. Endurance is pretty good. I don't hate Veil. And I don't think any of the rest of this is good. Like, I don't think I want Cling to Dust against Murktide. I don't think that's going to do anything. Collector Ouphe is dead in this match. Diabolic Intent, I feel, is not great, because you're playing into counter spells, so you, in a lot of cases, like you can lose a card. So I might take one of those. I used to not like Thoughtseizes in this matchup, and Sylvan Library, because, like, you know, you're racing and these necessitate you losing a little bit of life. So I think Under normal conditions, I would probably trim one of those, and I might still just trim one of each and bring in these, leave out the veils. Not sure Night of Autumn's very good either. Yeah, I think I can trim Night of Autumn, and I can go down a Sylvan Library and a Thoughtseize, and bring in the Endurances and the Prismatic Endings and maybe one Veil. I think I still want the Chain of Smogs. I think I still need the Smog combo in this matchup, and I think Eternal Witness is okay. Yeah, as sort of like a top of the curve, because this is my top of the curve Green Sun target, Eternal Witness and Grist. No prime time in this deck. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, let's go with this. See if I can get a little luckier. A one lander I don't think is where I want to be, especially since I can't cast the turn one Thoughtseize. I do have a lot of removal. Removal's usually really good in this matchup, but if they just have a wasteland, I could just lose the game here. And I don't have a Dryad Arbor, so Green Sun is off. So I'm going to mulligan this. Oh man, this is worse. This is worse. So my opponent's keeping 7. I think I have to go to 5. Alright, I can keep this. I think I want a Cabal Therapy and then Green Sun. So I might gamble here a little bit and bottom the second Windswept Heath. Oh, I gotta bottom 2 things. Ugh. Alright, it's gotta be the Veil. That's not good. Alright, well, let's go with that. So I'm gonna open with Cabal Therapy here, and probably just naming Force of Will. I'll grab a Scrubland. I'm naming Force of Will because I really want my Green Sun to resolve next turn. Of course they have Force of Negation, and they have Ragavan. Oh man, I'm so in trouble. This is like a nightmare scenario. So they're gonna have turn 1 Ragavan with Force of Negation backup, and they have a Lightning Bolt to get through, in case I just open draw Veteran Explorer. This is big trouble. This is going to be real hard. Well, I'm going to try to force it out here. My opponent played that and the Polluted. So I'm going to try to bait out the Force of Negation because I don't see what else to do. If they let it resolve them, yeah, okay. Alright. Well, that's that. Closer to even on cards, although Ragavan is going to start getting them a big boost here. Yeah, Ragavan on turn 1 with a free counterspell backup is hard to beat. At least they can't cast that. Still get a treasure for free, but the Arena Rector will just sit in exile. They might get another card here because, I mean, they're gonna bolt something. Okay, well, let's Green Sun here. And I'm gonna go for Veteran Explorer again. And this time I'm gonna sit on Veteran Explorer, and I assume they're gonna bolt at the end of turn, which is fine. Yeah. So they can bolt Veteran Explorer, get another look with Ragavan, but that's sort of all I can do. Okay, they chose not to do that. They are gonna bolt here. Probably. Well, thinking about it. Okay. Maybe Expressive Iteration into bolt. A Braid. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's all you can do. I guess next turn I have Professor Onyx, which is something. So I'm going to grab a swamp and a plains. I can always grab a second green source for with the Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, this is trouble. Nothing I can do. Oh, second Arena Rector. Wow. They're thinning my deck of Arena Rectors. So I have no play here. So I just sit back. That's real unfortunate. Man, Ragavan, too strong. See how this goes. So if they get an Arena Rector here, I guess it doesn't do anything. Oh, Karakas. Okay, that's fine. Karakas would have been okay, but I guess they have a wasteland. It doesn't matter that much. And that doesn't... takes me a little bit further from casting the Professor Onyx. Alright. They haven't actually gotten any, like, true card advantage off of Ragavan, but they have a bunch of treasures. They've thinned my deck quite a bit. Let's see what they get here. Nope, another land. Ragavan's so good. It actually dipped in price quite a bit actually today, because I think that's because they announced that they're gonna they're bringing back the Modern Horizons 2 drafts. All right, do I want to thin? I think I will thin. I'm gonna just grab a maybe I'll grab a Bayou here. Already I guess I'm vulnerable to Wasteland already. Okay, that doesn't do anything here. Like I can Chain of Smog and then Veil, and I think Veil they have to actually cast it. So this would counter the Chain of Smog, but yeah, it doesn't do enough. What I really want is like a Witherbloom Apprentice, I guess, here. And they, even if I have it, they have a bolt. I'm just in a real tough spot. Yep. Yeah, this matchup's pretty hard. Prismatic Ending's dead, at least. It's dead because I have no permanents for them to target. And I think that's almost lethal. It's lethal if they flip the Delver, because they probably still have this bolt. Yeah. So if they flip the Delver, it's lethal. Okay, that's a win. That's unfortunate. Yeah, couldn't get there. Tough matchup. Let's see if I can get luckier in the second one. Yeah, that UR Delver matchup, I mean, I guess that was Grixis, but just generally that matchup has gotten a lot harder. I basically, in Modern Horizons 2, like they got 3 threats, like 3 threat upgrades in Ragavan, Dragon Rage Channeler, and Murktide Regent. And those cards, it's sort of a combination of things. Like a lot of the removal suite in a lot of decks don't match up well against the 3 of them. You know, because against Ragavan you need a turn 1 removal. Against Dragon Rage Channeler you need something that can hit 3 toughness, and Murktide Regent you need something that can hit a lot of toughness and can't be hit by Abrupt Decay. So you sort of have this, like, you need varying removal to hit all of their threats, because, you know, in the Oko meta, like, you know, Abrupt Decay hit everything good. Not anymore, right? Because now Murktide Regent just goes over Abrupt Decay. Ragavan can sometimes like gain card advantage before Abrupt Decay comes online, and then Dragon Rage Channeler can't be hit by things like Punishing Fire. Um, I don't know. So yeah, it's they've gotten some upgrades, and while Nick Fit got some upgrades in Endurance, which admittedly is pretty good against Dragon Rage Channeler. Then they got Grist too, which is okay against Murktide Regent. I still feel that their upgrade was quite a bit bigger. That matchup has just gone from pretty favorable in my opinion before Modern Horizons 2 to neutral at best. It's sort of back to where, you know, I sort of remember in the Oko meta, you know, you think of Nick Fit as a very favorable matchup, or Nick Fit is favored over Delver, but I don't think that's the case. I didn't think that was the case towards the end of the Oko meta, and I don't really think that's that much of the case now. Let's see here. This is okay. It doesn't have a turn 1 play, but it's got a turn 2 Sylvan Library and a turn 3 Grist. I think this is okay. So I'm gonna keep this. If I'm against a combo matchup, I'm in a bit of trouble, but Underground Sea sort of reeks of a combo matchup. So does Preordain. So hopefully I draw something here. So maybe I'll just lead on the Verdant and sit back, because I think I'm in a little bit of trouble here. I sort of think Underground Sea, I immediately think like Doomsday or Storm. Alright, Doomsday. And I don't have too much for this matchup. I'm trying to think what I even have here that's good. Not a lot. Getting a turn 2 Doomsday is pretty fortunate for my opponent, but nonetheless, I mean, I was just sort of, this hand matches up really well against fair matchups and just gets obliterated by Doomsday or Storm. So that's not very good. Alright. At the same time, I kind of like the Doomsday matchup. I feel it's pretty skill intensive. I mean, this game is probably not going to be. I'm probably just going to lose next turn. But under normal conditions, sometimes you have a lot of choices here. One of the things that I like to do here is sort of take a look through their list and count the Force of Wills and Dazes, because that'll tell you how many they still have in their hand. So here's a Force, here's a Daze, here's a Daze, here's a Force, here's a Force, here's a Daze, here's a Daze. So they have a Force in their hand, probably. Let's see. And then there's no Dazes. Force, Force, Force. Yeah, that's it. And then I'm guessing what's in their hand based on this. They probably have the Cycler, Street Wraith, and I mean obviously Thassa's Oracle, and then usually, okay, there's the LED. So they're probably just casting it, and they're probably casting it off of a Cavern of Souls, because I don't see a Cavern in here. Yeah, I don't see a Cavern. So that's probably what it is. It's probably exactly what's in their pile, and they probably have something like a Brainstorm or a Ponder. All right, well, I'm gonna fetch just to thin, because I think I'm gonna die right away here. Thoughtseize is okay. I think that's better than Sylvan Library, even though I think this game's probably over here. I'm gonna cast it. Ponder, Ponder, Force of Will. Cool. And Lotus Petal. I mean, I guess I'd take Ponder. I think I'm still very dead here. So my opponent does sort of have to fear Endurance, but I don't have Endurance, so they're okay. Okay, there's Ideas Unbound. One card in Library. Lotus Petal, Street Wraith, Cavern, and that's game. And they had Force backup too. Or they probably do. They have Force. I don't know what their other card is, but yeah, that's enough. Okay. Cool. Definitely want the Oppo agents. Endurance is good. Mindbreak Trap is okay. It can sometimes get like a Thoughtseize Oracle. So like that turn, you saw that they had Ideas Unbound, Lotus Petal, Thoughtseize Oracle. So I don't hate the Mindbreak Traps. I don't think Force of Vigor is going to do enough. I don't think Surgical Extraction does enough. Veil's something, but I don't think it matters that much. I'm going to cut. I got to make some cuts for sure. Swords to Plowshares is dead in this matchup. They don't have anything. Witherbloom Apprentice I'm going to keep. Assassin's Trophy sometimes can snag a land, so I'm gonna keep it. You know, the combination, basically anything that disrupts the opponent at all, is good in this matchup. And really something like Ugin and even though probably most of the Arena Rectors aren't very good. So I might cut some of them, bring in at least all of this. I should say Opposition Agent against Doomsday typically wins the game. And I think I could even board out Professor Onyx and another Arena Rector. Maybe I'll board out all of the Arena Rectors, bring in the Veils, and maybe bring in something like Surgical just to shuffle their deck. It's something. Sylvan Library doesn't do much. Mostly because if you play Sylvan Library on turn 2, you're probably just going to lose on turn 3. So maybe just bring in the Surgicals. Just to shuffle and mix up their deck. I think that's better than Arena Rector, because I just don't think Arena Rector is going to be fast enough. I don't think any of those do anything. Yeah, I think this is okay. Knight of Autumn's okay. Grist is okay. 53 seconds. Eternal Witness is okay. It's not very good. Cool. Maybe I guess Diabolic Intent is okay with Witherbloom Apprentice. I still have Witherbloom Apprentice and Chain of Smog for the combo, so that's something. Yeah, I think I'm gonna run like this. So between Endurance, Opposition Agent, and Mindbreak Trap, I at least have some things. Ugh, I don't think I can keep this. This hand just has no plan. It has a Mindbreak Trap, but like that's my only way to win. You know, if they just have Duress or something, I lose. So I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, this is something. I will keep this. I think I'm going to keep this and bottom the Windswept Heath. Just because I need all 3 of these. I can play the Cavern on turn 3, naming Elemental, just to mess with them. I guess that's something. So I'm going to go like this, and I don't have a green card for Endurance, so if they turn 1 it, I'm in big trouble. I guess I can Surgical, but I think I'm going to go like this. Yeah. So I don't have a green card to pitch to Endurance, but maybe I'll draw one. I can always Cavern to make the Endurance uncounterable, though. So I'm just going to play the Windswept and pass. I have 2 pieces of interaction for Doomsday. Of course, if they just Thoughtseize them, I'm going to lose one of them. Alright. Okay. So I don't think they'll beat me in 1 turn off of Doomsday, so I think I'm just going to start the clock here. So I'm going to get a green land. Probably get a Bayou here. Play the Scrubland and just Green Sun for Veteran Explorer. It's just something. I can always Diabolic Intent it away or something. I'm also baiting out like a Force here. Let's see what they do here. Alright. Are you going to brainstorm end of turn? Fatal Push. Okay. They want the lands. I wonder if they think they can win with those lands. They might be able to. So I'm going to get the green, and I'll get a swamp here. So I can't cast Endurance. If they have Doomsday, I probably have to... I guess I have to use Surgical to try to slow them down. Okay. Ponder's fine. Let's see what they got. I can hard cast Surgical. Okay. They're going to try to Doomsday this turn. And we'll see what they have here. It's debatable whether I even want a Surgical, because I need to put some cards into their graveyard in order to sort of throw off the Doomsday pile. I think I'll still Surgical the Doomsday, just to like throw off their pile and see what they have in their hand. Probably just baits a Force. That's fine though. I can't cast the Endurance right here. Alright, let's see what they got. 2 Dazes and a Force. They do have Baleful Strix. So 2 Dazes and a Force, 2 Forces, 3 Dazes, 3 Forces. So they have a Force and a Daze. Force, Force, Flusterstorm, Force, yeah, and then Daze, Daze, Daze. So they probably have a Force and a Daze in their hand, which seems like a lot. Okay, so they have a Lotus Petal here. So I'm thinking, well, I guess there's no point to doing it right now. But in response to any draw spell, I'll Surgical them. Okay. Mindbreak Trap is a decent draw. I can't cast it unless they cast a bunch of things. But let's go Elemental. And we'll just pass. This is kind of a weird couple turns here. So Collector Ouphe is decent here. I'm definitely going to play that out. I have to make sure to leave a green open. So I'm going to cast it like this, because I want to leave green and green. Perfect. So Collector Ouphe shuts off Lotus Petal, starts the clock. I mean, this game's not going to go to clock, but that's okay. Alright. I guess their plan is to just cast it. It's kind of bad for me, I guess. I could probably Diabolic Intent the Collector Ouphe and then maybe try to like Thoughtseize them just to put some cards into their graveyard. Because I really want to leave the Endurance till the very end. Alright, Cavern on Human. Let's get the beats in. Alright, so I'm going to tap this and tap black. I'll Diabolic Intent the Collector Ouphe. My plan here is just to get anything really. Like I just need to put some cards into the graveyard. So like a Thoughtseize or a Thoughtseize is probably the card I'm getting here. Yeah. So I'll just get a Thoughtseize. Yeah. Here. And I'll just cast Thoughtseize, targeting them. Actually, I'll tap the Scrubland. Alright, so I still have green for the Endurance. So they sort of have to respond here if they have Thoughtseize Oracle in hand, or they can just, I don't know, try to win else otherwise. Okay, Flusterstorm and Force of Will. I don't think I care at all about Street Wraith. So I think what I want here is Flusterstorm. I might take the Force or Flusterstorm, because with Ponder that puts a card into the graveyard. I think that's what I want. Yeah, I think I'll take the Flusterstorm. Yeah. So they sort of, one of these turns they have to win. They have to try to win. All right. Okay. Just keep Thoughtseizing. That was a pretty good drop, by the way. Just fills the graveyard some more. Edge of Autumn is fine. It fills the graveyard. So I think Force of Will is what I want here. Actually, I might have to start worrying about some of these cards that draw. Yeah, so maybe I will take one of these and leave the Force. Yeah, because I think I just don't care about the Force. So I'll take the Street Wraith. So my opponent has to win in the next 2 turns, or they just lose the game from drawing from an empty library. Okay. Watch, my opponent does the double Thoughtseize Oracle in order to get around me. So my opponent, not sure what they can do here. I mean, I guess maybe they have a Brainstorm or something. Okay, so they can Edge of Autumn, sure. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, you can sort of see how I feel this is a fun matchup, even though it definitely favors Doomsday quite a bit. Yeah. I don't think I'm making any changes. I did see that they had one Baleful Strix. I don't think that matters to me. I don't think I want Professor Onyx or Ugin. This is just a hard matchup. It's just a hard matchup. I'm not sure any of the rest of this helps more than anything else. It's a tricky matchup because you really want like sort of some amount of clock combined with some disruption. And this deck, in terms of disruption, just has sort of the discard. It has 2 endurances, but you know, endurance won't win the game. Well, I guess it can win the game, but you know, if the opponent knows what to do, they can sometimes play around it. They couldn't play around it there too well. This hand is not good. Yeah, I mean, you need Veil to protect something, and there's just nothing to protect here. So this hand just has a Cabal Therapy and nothing. This is a mulligan. This hand's a little better. It's a little better. I'll keep this. It at least has a plan in terms of, you know, Cabal Therapy, Veteran Explorer, Sylvan Library. So I'm going to keep this, bottom the Karakas. That way I have green, white, black. I have everything. Try to get Cabal Therapy going. Hope they don't have a turn 1 Doomsday, because I don't think there's any way I beat a turn 1 Doomsday. If they just go Dark Ritual into Doomsday, I think I just lose. Alright. So they'll probably take Veteran Explorer here, or maybe Sylvan Library. No way they take Cabal Therapy, I wouldn't think. They might, I guess. Reduce my ability to do it by 1. Like, make it so I can only Cabal Therapy once instead of twice. Yeah, that's more what I was expecting. Okay. Well, Witherbloom Apprentice is something. So I'm going to open with Cabal Therapy here and name Doomsday. Doomsday is sort of the enabler here, and especially with Surgicals in my deck. You know, if you hit Doomsday and then maybe I draw a Surgical off of Sylvan Library or something, like that can just win the game. So I'm gonna Cabal Therapy here. And Doomsday is definitely a 4 of. Alright, Doomsday. Let's go for it. Whiff. Alright. 2 Ponders in hand, but there'll only be 1 probably next turn. So they got a Ponder, a Lotus Petal, and a Fatal Push. Not too worried about the Fatal Push, to be honest. I mean, you know, you can Fatal Push my Witherbloom Apprentice, but I don't think I care. I'll probably just cast Sylvan Library next turn. Try to draw some cards. Okay, they got both Ponders out. There's no point to like casting the Witherbloom Apprentice and go flashing back Cabal Therapy, I don't think. Okay. I could Green Sun here, but I don't think that's what I want to do either. I could like Green Sun for Veteran Explorer and Flashback Therapy. And maybe then cast one of these, but that's going to give them a ton of mana, and if they have a Doomsday, I think I just lose to that. So I might just play the Windswept Heath and cast Sylvan Library, and you know, if they force it, they force it. In fact, I suspect that they will force it or daze it if they have it. Doesn't start the clock like a Witherbloom Apprentice, but Witherbloom Apprentice is just going to get Fatal Pushed. Alright. Doomsday? Yeah, okay. So, best things I can draw here off the Sylvan Library, if I can get it, would be like, again, Cavern of Souls and Endurance. That would be really good. A Surgical can mess up their pile. Yeah. I guess there's a few things to draw, but I still got to get lucky. Yeah, I still got to get pretty lucky. Alright, let's see what they get here. Okay. So here's the pile. There's the Edge of Autumn. 1 force, 2 forces, 3 forces. So they probably have another force somewhere in their hand, most likely. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, what's this card? Solve the equation. Oh yeah, I've seen that. That fetches an instant or sorcery, so they don't need that anymore. And then as far as dazes go, 1 daze, 2 daze. Just 2 dazes. So they probably have quite a bit of counter magic here. That's my guess. The Baleful Strixes are in the yard. Street Wraith is not. So yeah, they've got counter magic, which is unfortunate. All right, well, let's see if I can get lucky. That's a turn late. Let's see if I can get anything. Well, the Mindbreak Trap is something. The Mindbreak Trap is something. So I'm gonna definitely pay 4 to keep that. I think the Diabolic Intent doesn't do much here. Like I can Green Sun and then Diabolic Intent. I guess that's something. Well, I'm going to pay 4 for this. Definitely want the Mindbreak Trap. I mean, I guess there's no point not to just pay for everything. Because, you know, they're not killing me with damage. Okay, so I want to play around days if I can. I have Witherbloom Apprentice, but I think just Green Sun into Cabal Therapy is what I want. So they have Force, and just 2 dazes in here, which means there's probably another Force and another daze running around. So I'm gonna just Green Sun for 1 to try to get a Veteran Explorer. It ramps my lands if it resolves, and gets me a Cabal Therapy. Alright, well that's something. First part of the plan resolves. Let's get some lands. So I want a forest for sure. And let's see, I have 2 green, or 2 of those. Yeah, maybe I'll take a swamp here. Yeah. And we'll see sort of what they have in their hand. They almost certainly, they gotta have a forest here. Because I don't think Daze will do anything. So maybe I'll try that. And they have the Flusterstorm here in the graveyard, so I'm going to guess they don't have a Flusterstorm. So I'm going to just name Force of Will. Alright, let's hope for it. Okay, they've got... Okay, this is okay. They've got a Daze, a Fatal Push. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. I think what I want to do here is cast Witherbloom Apprentice here, because I can play around the days, and it'll force them to either try to kill me this turn, or next turn I can maybe try to win with Diabolic Intent or something. So I'm going to cast Witherbloom Apprentice. I doubt they're going to have a fetch land and then search their library, so I think you just play the Witherbloom Apprentice here. And the Scrubland plays around days. Alright. And hope for the best with Mindbreak Trap here. Okay, Shelldock Isle. That's interesting. Okay. I guess that can help them to try to win at instant speed, which is kind of interesting. Because they can play this. You may play the exiled card if a library has 20 or fewer cards in it. Alright, dead. Okay, well, that's interesting. Because almost certainly this is going to be a Thoughtseize Oracle under there. I guess. I don't even know. So I really want an Endurance. I guess I could win with like Witherbloom Apprentice and Chain of Smog. Oh man, shouldn't have wasted my Witherbloom Apprentice. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know here. Definitely want the Mindbreak Trap. I think Chain of Smog is probably okay. They have days. I don't think Opposition Agent is going to do anything, because yeah, I'm guessing this is just Thoughtseize Oracle and I'm going to lose during my upkeep. There's nothing I can do there. That'll be unfortunate. Alright, well, let's just pay for everything. Because, again, they're not going to do 3 damage to me. Let's go like this. Let's see, they got Daze and Tropical Island. So, I mean, no amount of discard is going to do anything. Oh, you know what? This is... Actually, that's something. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so I can Eternal Witness for the Witherbloom Apprentice. I can Diabolic Intent and get a Endurance. Yeah, I think that's my play. Because I need the green card to pitch. Okay, we'll cast Diabolic Intent, and I'm gonna tap with the Scrubland so that I have a basic untapped. All right, let's cast Diabolic Intent. I will get Endurance. I do not have to reveal it, and I'll just pass the turn here. Okay. Okay, they're playing their card. It's probably Thoughtseize Oracle. Emrakul, the Eon's Torn. Oh, okay. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I cannot do anything about that. That's funny. Okay. I guess they take an extra turn, and I guess that's game. Like, I don't have any way to do that. Do I? Yeah, I mean, I'm dead on board to that thing. Good game, opponent. Good game. You got me. They got me. That's a good game. I've never seen that from Doomsday. That's pretty funny. Alright. Well, that's game. Yep. Good game, opponent. Ah, that was a close one. That was a good game, though. I really like the Doomsday matchup. I think it's pretty fun overall. But yeah, sometimes you just don't know what to expect. You got a Doomsday. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that. I've always seen them like have that for like a Thoughtseize Oracle during upkeep or something like that. I've never seen them actually do it with Emrakul. So 0-2 through the first 2 matchups. Both pretty unfavorable matchups. Well, UR Delver's probably closer to neutral. I think it's a little unfavorable, but Doomsday's pretty bad. That's one of Nick Fit's worst matchups, I think. But I do feel like it's a testing matchup. You know, you really look at the cards they have in their exile, and you know, you can try to gauge, try to guess what they have in their hand. Makes your Cabal Therapies maybe a little bit better, all that kind of thing. So, okay. Tough one, but alright. Okay. I feel like I have played against this person, but I don't think I've played against them recently. These 2 cards are sort of not very good here. I'm thinking about mulliganing because this hand doesn't, like, it really relies really strongly on the Sylvan Library. It's not the worst, but I think it just relies too much on the Sylvan Library. Like, if this doesn't resolve or if they duress this, I guess I have the Eternal Witness to get it back. So, you know, it's bad against a combo deck, but maybe it's not too bad. I guess I'll keep it. I talked myself into it. So I'm going to play a Prismatic Vista here, just to sort of like pretend like I'm a different deck. Okay, this has got to be humans or slivers or something. All right, it's humans. Okay, so Ether Vial is a problem. So I guess I'm going to Sylvan Library here, and then next turn I'll Knight of Autumn. Okay, so maybe I'll fetch out a basic Plains with this, and then get a Forest with this. Because I can't remember if this deck runs Wasteland. I think it doesn't. I think their mana is just too tight. Alright, let's see what you got, opponent. They have some tricks where, like, you can flash in. Okay, what's this? Meddling Mage. Okay, that's fine. Swords to Plowshares. Alright, don't really need that. Don't really need any of this. I'm going to probably keep the Phyrexian Tower, because I think that's just a little better than the other ones. Gives me a sack outlet, which I didn't have. And I'm gonna cast the Knight of Autumn here. Blow up the Ether Vial, hopefully. Oh, nice. This is pretty good. Gives me a blocker. Sure. That's fine. And I think I don't have Plague Engineers in my sideboard. Nope. I took them out. Interesting. They are running Wastelands here. Alright. Man, that's a dicey mana base. You have all tap for any color lands and Wasteland. So let's see what they take here. This is kind of interesting. I figure it'll probably be... Yeah, okay. At the same time, you know, I can still just cast it for 4. Boy. Man. Okay. Cool. I don't know if this deck runs... let's see here. So I definitely don't want the Phyrexian Tower. I think I don't know if they run Force of Will, but I'm going to assume that they're not. I have seen Meddling Mages, but there aren't a lot of other blue humans that they might be running. Yeah, so I'm going to just fetch out another basic forest, just to shuffle my deck with Sylvan Library so I see more cards. And I'm debating the Eternal Witness, but I don't even know if I want it. Yeah, like what am I getting for a land? I don't think that's good enough. I think I just take the beats here. Pretty unfortunate. All right. Human, okay. What is this? Is this Azorius Renegade or whatever that card is? Meddling Mage, probably on Smog or maybe on Eternal Witness. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Their clock's pretty fast. Man, I'm drawing so many lands. I'm flooding pretty hard. Alright. Collector Ouphe is not very good here. Like, I don't know. Okay. I think I'll still take the Collector Ouphe. I think my plan here is play the Eternal Witness, get back a land, play the Collector Ouphe, and just have blockers, I guess. It's not a good plan, but it's a plan. Alright, do I want to give them something that they can destroy. I think it's okay. Nah, you know what? I might as well just keep it in case I draw some, you know, I don't know, like draw, I don't know, some one of my planeswalkers, I guess. So I doubly can't cast Chain of Smog, which is okay. It's going to be hard, but I don't even know how I'm going to kill that thing. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this one. Okay. That's trouble. Man. That might just be enough. So, yeah, chump time, I guess. So I guess I'll just chump like this. Try to stem the damage. I guess there's no point to that. I might as well just chump 1. Take 7. Because I'm dead next turn, for sure. I guess Arena Rector does something? Yeah, nothing here does anything, though. Okay. Okay. That's fine. So I definitely want prismatic endings. Those are good. And endurances are maybe a little tricky. Not sure what else. Collector Ouphe can shut off their ether vials. Source of Plowshares is good. Assassin's Trophy might be okay. I absolutely want the Arena Rectors because Ugin's really good in this matchup. That's sort of my board wipe. Thoughtseizes might be, I might board those out just because, you know, they deal damage to me. I think I want Diabolic Intents because this is going to be a fast one. I could probably trim a Sylvan Library and then maybe Eternal Witness. I don't hate Eternal Witness, but yeah. Yeah, I think I'll board out the Eternal Witness, and then I'll just bring in this, the removal and the endurances. Endurance, I think you just need some sort of blocker, especially one that has reach. I don't think I need any of the rest of this. Yeah, I think I need the combo. Alright, let's see if I can get a little luckier. Man, I've been pretty unlucky on the draws here. So this, I think I can mulligan a 5-lander. Even though this, I mean, those 2 cards aren't bad, but okay, I can keep this. What do I want to get rid of? It might be a land, to be honest. It might be a land. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's just a land. So I think I'm going to fetch a swamp with this, and then just cast Veteran Explorer on turn 2. So maybe it's just the land, because I want to keep my win condition here. Alright. And I'm going to name Thalia's Lieutenant or Meddling Mage. Thalia's Lieutenant is like their fast draws, but Meddling Mage is the card that can shut me down. So maybe I'll name Meddling Mage. Okay, misses. Okay. Noble Hierarch. Okay. And Ancient Ziggurat. Okay. So I can name... Might be Luminarch Aspirant. It might be just Thalia. It's probably Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. I think that's probably the best hit. Okay, so I think here just going to play a Cavern on Human, cast Veteran Explorer, and flash him back. And I'm going to hit Thalia. It's unfortunate that I don't have any other play here, but I can't risk it getting swordsed. I guess maybe they don't have swords. I don't know. Okay, so I will get a forest and a... Actually, do I want a forest? I don't think I do, because I need the extra black. So I might get a black and a plains. I guess I have the plains. I need the plains just in case I draw like Source of Plowshares or something. I'm naming Thalia here. Luminarch Aspirant is probably a little bit faster of a clock, but Thalia shuts me down more. And my opponent had no basics. That's good. Alright, Champion of the Parish. Luminarch Aspirant. Alright. Okay, that's pretty good. Or at least decent. So let's play the forest and let's cast this thing. That's gonna function as a pretty good blocker. So Imperial Recruiter. Palace Jailer. Blah. Okay, so they have 3 cards in hand, so Chain of Smog can't even hit the Palace Jailer. Endurance can't even cast that, which is pretty unfortunate. I'd gotten the 2 swamps for that thing, and then I can't cast that. So I guess this is one option, so I can Chain a Smog here, because if they smog back at me, yes, I pitch my hand, but I smog back at them and they pitch the Palace Jailer. So I think I can... do I want to do that though? Ugh. Because that sort of gets rid of my win con. I'm taking a lot of damage next turn. That's sort of my options. So either they're going to Palace Jailer my Arena Rector and smash me for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 the following turn. So that's a 9, 10, 11 the following turn. So that's a 2-turn clock. Or I Chain a Smog them. They can still do that, but then I've at least gotten their other cards. I think that's better, even though that's my win con though. I think at this point I need to sack the Arena Rector to get the... yeah, boy, I'm in dire shape. I'm going to start with this because, I guess, well, my other option is I can draw a Green Sun Zenith. So I either bank on drawing a Green Sun Zenith, or I bank on... Yeah, I think I have to bank on drawing a Green Sun Zenith. I think that's my out. Because if they... Like, they can just not put the Chain of Smog back at me. They still hit me with the Palace Jailer. It's still a 2-turn clock, and there's no way I can get 2 turns with just Onyx and Endurance in my hand. So I think my plan here is gotta hit a Green Sun Zenith, or just hit a Witherbloom Apprentice. Pretty unfortunate. Yeah, so here's the Palace Jailer. All right. Yep. Man, taking some hits here. So here I need Palace Jailer, or sorry, I need Witherbloom Apprentice or Green Sun Zenith. Green Sun Zenith will do it because I have the mana to cast both that and Chain of Smog. That's not going to do it. So I can cast Professor Onyx. 2, 3, 4. I guess it might buy a turn. So this forces them to kill Professor Onyx, which saves me some life. Because if they don't, and they don't kill me this turn, they will lose from Chain of Smog. Okay. That's fine. That's fine too. So they gotta hit the Professor Onyx here. Alright. I am very dead next turn. Pretty dead. I've taken 7 this turn. Okay, let's see. Okay, so they are killing Professor Onyx. Good choice. And that's not going to do it. Yeah. This needed to be something else. Alright. Man, tough matchups today. 0-3. Let's see if I can turn it around. I think if I go 0-4, I'll probably just drop. Maybe I'll play it out. Might be fun. But yeah, that was a tough one. I don't think I'm making... I mean, maybe I'm making mistakes. I'm sure chat will point it out, or the comments on YouTube when I post this, but yeah, I don't feel like I'm making a bunch of mistakes. Ugh. So this hand has no plan. You know, it has a Veteran Explorer, and it's okay in a fair matchup, but it does absolutely nothing in a combo matchups, and just it doesn't have a path to victory. So I'm going to mulligan this. This is better. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep the lands, I think. I might just bottom the Assassin's Trophy. I don't think I need that right now. That's usually not a card I play super early. Alright, so I'm going to open with the Thoughtseize. Alright, let's see what they got. Okay, oh man. Okay, so this is the Madness deck. Okay. They have the Putrid Imps. They have the Root Wallas. So they can just go mana, Putrid Imp, Root Walla, Vengevine. Get the Vengevines beat down. Wow, that's a pretty strong turn too. Taking Putrid Imp does nothing. I could take one of the Root Wallas and force them to like maybe Burning Inquiry or something, which isn't very good for me either, but it's something. Yeah, I think it's weird to take a Root Walla, but that might be the choice. I think that's better than Burning Inquiry. Yeah. So I think I'll take Basking Root Walla here, because yeah, I think I'll take Basking Root Walla over Burning. So they go Putrid Imp, pitch Blazing Root Walla, or pitch Vengevine, pitch... Oh man, this is just too good. Yeah, there's like nothing I can take. Even taking one of the Root Wallas, they cast Putrid Imp, pitch Vengevine, pitch Root Walla, cast Root Walla, get back Vengevine, beat down. So I guess I take the Burning Inquiry here, because nothing else does anything. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty brutal turn. Fortunately, I can Green Sun the next turn and put up a blocker. That's at least something. Yep. And then here they pitch Vengevine, pitch Rootwalla, pitch Rootwalla. And then cast Rootwalla, get Vengevine. I guess they don't even have to pitch the other Rootwalla. They might hold it. Guess you can do it at the end of turn. And they beat down with the Vengevine for 4. Alright. They're not running counterspells, so the Cavern doesn't matter. I'll play the Forest, and I'll Green Sun out the Veteran Explorer. It's a blocker. And hope they don't have, like, Burning Inquiry here. Yep. So if they attack, I think I'll block the Vengevine just to reduce the most damage. Alright, let's see what goes into the graveyard. I can block the Blazing Rootwalla and kill it, but if they don't have a land, it doesn't matter that much. Okay, so they still have Putrid Imp in hand. Yeah, swing with the team. I don't think killing Blazing Rootwalla matters. So I think you just block the Vengevine here. I could block the Putrid Imp, but they have another one, so I don't think that matters. I think you just block the Vengevine. Just try to reduce the most damage. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to get a Swamp and a Forest, because I have a Plains if I need it, and I have the Cavern for the Rectors. That's a decent draw. I don't hate that. So I'm going to go Cavern on Human, play the Arena Rector. Rector will get Ugin, which can exile their team. And I have another blocker. Alright. So this is a blocker. Let's see what they do now. Yeah, you can swing with just the Putrid Imp, I guess. That's fine. So now I just need a sack outlet. Alright. Okay, that'll do. So what would be the most dangerous card in their hand? I'm not quite sure. Maybe something like Burning Inquiry? I mean, if they had Burning Inquiry, they cast it. What's that thing? Anji's Ravager? Because Anji's Ravager, you know, when I flash this thing back, I can kill the Anji's Ravager if they madness it. Okay, they have a Putrid Imp. That's fine. So I'm going to get Ugin here to wipe their board. Get the Putrid Imp. They still have a Faithless Looting in the graveyard, which is a problem. Alright, so let's get the Putrid Imp. Cool. And then I don't care about my Veteran Explorer. I'm just going to X4 it. Okay, and that wipes the board. cast the Arena Rector. Alright, got a blocker too. And I can always Ugin, tick up, kill the Arena Rector next turn. Get Professor Onyx or something. Okay. Ox is tricky. Alright. I think it's okay. Actually, you know what? I might just tick Ugin onto them and hold back to block. That requires them to have like multiple attackers, which I guess they could have with anger or something. Okay. Okay. So I have lethal next turn with the Chain of Smog if they Ox, assuming I can kill the Arena Rector. Which I guess I'll have to be able to kill the Arena Rector, so I think I win this one. Sure, you can Ox. That's fine. So they draw. Lion's Eye Diamond, sure. Burning Inquiry, okay. That's not as good for me. Guess it gives me something. Guess I can Ugin the Ox? No, I don't want to Ugin the Ox. Alright. So I'm going to tick up onto the Arena Rector, and then I'll sacrifice and kill the Ox, and then I'll play these two. Alright, I got plenty of blockers, got some planeswalkers. I think I'm in good shape, but, you know, having the Chain of Smog would have been better. Let's see what my opponent does here. They can Ox again. They can Faithless Looting. Guess we'll see. Alright, there's the Faithless Looting. Anji's Ravager plus Vengevine. Something. Sure. Still think I'm in pretty good shape here. What did they... Oh, they're going to Ox here. Alright. And then get back the Vengevine. Yeah, it's decent. It's definitely decent. Alrighty. They can attack, but I don't think that's going to do it. Oh, Hollow One's pretty good. So I can Ugin X5? Well, alright. Make it easy on me. Who are they attacking? Yeah, they're attacking me. I still have to block, so I will do it. I will get Grist the Hunger Tide. And I will get the basics. I'll get a Plains and a Swamp. Alright. Cool. So, finally nice to win one. Prismatic Ending is okay. It's not that good. Surgical and Cling to Dust are good. Endurance is good. So these are for sure, and these are a maybe. Cool. What's bad? Collector Ouphe is okay. Thoughtseize is just actively bad. I mean, I guess it's okay. Like, you can hit an LED on turn 1, but I think I'd rather just have Cabal Therapy. Sylvan Library, like, this matchup, like, super pressures your life total. So I can't imagine I'm doing that ever. Diabolic Intent, I think I need that to win the game. Knight of Autumn stabilizes, maybe, with gain 4 life, I guess. Definitely want the Arena Rectors, definitely want this. Definitely want the Veteran Explorers and the Witherbloom Apprentice. So definitely bringing in that. Alright, I think Eternal Witness is probably no good. You know, it gives me some amount of card selection. Maybe it's better than Knight of Autumn. Knight of Autumn can gain 4 life, but I don't think that's what I want. Cool. And do I want Prismatic Ending? Prismatic Ending is basically just for the Root Wallas. Because it would take 3 lands to hit Anji's Ravager. That would be kind of hard. I think this is good. I think you gotta win early. I think you gotta like have a Veteran Explorer with a Witherbloom Apprentice, Chain of Smog hand or something. Let's go with this. Blah. I can't cast spells except for Collector Ouphe if I name Ouphe. So I'll mulligan this. Alright, this is actually decent. I don't mind this at all. I have a sack outlet. It's probably pitching the Assassin's Trophy and keeping the Swords of Plowshares. They might have Burning Inquiry, but, you know, whatever. It gives me a plan. The plan is get to Arena Rector and flash it back with Cabal Therapy. It's a plan. Well, need a new plan. And I did take out the Knight of Autumn. Cool. Well, I'm in trouble now. Well, that's going to be a problem. Cool. So I think I'm going to Cabal Therapy here. They have an LED already, so I think their most explosive card is going to be like Anji's Ravager. Okay. That's a problem. Okay. Bone Shards. Okay. Destroys Planeswalkers, I guess that's something. Got a second LED in hand. Oh, there's your land. Here's a Burning Inquiry. That's my exile zone. Alright. So I've lost 1 Chain of Smog so far. Oh, they have Anger in the graveyard. Do they have anything else here? Guess they can like pitch their hand an Ox and then try to get the Vengevine back? Maybe? Does that work? I don't think it does, because they need to get 8 other cards and they'll only have 7. Oh, they'll have 8 with the LED. I think that's probably what they're considering. Like, should they Ox and get back the Vengevine? And it looks like the answer is yes. They're gonna... Yeah, I guess that way they can keep the Anger in the graveyard. Oh, they can't keep the Anger in the graveyard. Alright. Yep. So I think here I plow the Vengevine. And I'm gonna just fetch non-basics. I don't think they're running any shenanigans on lands. Alright. Boy, I sure wish I had that Knight of Autumn. That would be a pretty good card next turn. Alright. Well, I won't make that mistake again. I think I need to hold the Green Sun Zenith for... Okay. So I think I will block here just to save 3 damage. That's fine. Alright. So I can Green Sun Zenith here for Grist, which doesn't do anything. But I think I save it for Witherbloom Apprentice. Yeah. Alright. So I'm gonna use this to get a... I'll just start getting non-basics and play the Arena Rector. I'm gonna hold it back. I probably won't block the Ox on turn 1 unless they have some near lethal attack. Which they might, but we'll see. I'm going to cast the Arena Rector. Alright. So, with Leyline, Arena Rector is just a squire here. Just a 1-2. So I'm not blocking. Alright. That's pretty bad. Lost my Ugin. And lost my Green Sun Zenith. I'm in kind of trouble here. Okay. So they discarded a Vengevine. That's something. I can at least block the Ox, although I think they can recast it. Oh, they can't if I Endurance. Alright, so I'm gonna just pass the turn here. Put this on the bottom, and... Alright. This buys a lot of time. So it's just a 5-3, so it'll die here. Man, Endurance is so good. So that even took care of their Faithless Looting. So that's pretty good. Okay. I think I want to get this into play just in case they have, like, just in case they have Inquiry. Like, yeah, they could have Bone Shards or whatever that card was, but I'm not too worried about it. Like, I think I'd rather do that than, like, you know, I think Burning Inquiry is a bigger worry. Alright. So, a couple cards can just win the game here. Okay, so I can Green Sun for Grist, the Hunger Tide, which I don't hate that. Grist is pretty good. I think that's the play. Yeah, I think... So I guess I could get an Endurance or a Grist. I think Grist will just take over the game with blockers, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I mean it's gonna... Hopefully I don't mill too many Chain of Smogs here, but I'm gonna not attack. Just hold back more blockers. So I've lost Ugin. Okay. And I've lost one Chain of Smog, so I have 2 more. But now I have even more cards are lethal here. So I can draw Diabolic Intent. Yeah, I can draw a couple things. Okay, my opponent. How? 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Wait, what? Oh, he pitched it to have flying. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. That's not gonna do it. I think I'm still not gonna worry too much about the Putrid Imp. If he wants to keep giving it flying and do that or whatever, like, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, he has 0 cards, so I think that's my plan. He's got just 1 card. Okay. Putrid Imp number 2. Do I thin? I think I will not thin here. Okay. Professor Onyx is decent. Although I need a land now. I'm going to just keep milling. That's fine. Yeah, I'm just going to beat down like this. If they double block the Witherbloom Apprentice, that's fine. Alright, so I am going to thin here. Grab a forest. Okay. Well, I guess I'll do this. Alright. Lost the other Witherbloom Apprentice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I cast Onyx here. Oops. Oh, for some reason I thought I only had 6 lands. I must have missed that I had an Onyx. I could have probably Onyx last turn. Oh man. The life's getting relevant. Oh, alright. Nice to get the first one. Or nice to get one. Get on the board. Yeah, so that was good. Beat the Madvine deck. Alright, let's go for the... We're gonna play for the 2-3. See if we can do a little better. That was cool. Yeah, got the Planeswalker online. I still haven't even been able to do the combo, which I feel is... I feel it's pretty unlucky, because I actually think, like, this deck is okay at doing the combo. In the, like, 5 practice rounds that I played it, I actually did the combo, I think, about half the games, so... Yeah, I don't know. The fact that I haven't won with the combo yet, or at least I don't think I have. I don't think I have, yeah. I feel like that's gotten a little unlucky. That's alright. Can't win them all. Let's hope I can win this last one, though. Get my 50 play points. Cool. My one trophy this season was with Dead Guy. So I think I trophied with Dead Guy, and I trophied with Dead Guy like maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, like right at the end of the last season. I actually think Dead Guy's in a pretty good spot, you know? Like, a lot of people just aren't respecting Dark Ritual into Opposition Agent. I mean, how do you really respect that, I guess? But there's a lot of land stacks, especially those slower land stacks running around, or the slower depth stacks, like the green-white depths, and that deck just runs them over. The combination of, you know, you have discard for, like, their Swords to Plowshares, and then you just put in, like, a big equipment, and then you have opposition agent against Knight of the Reliquary against Elvish Reclaimer against crop rotation. Like, I feel it's pretty good. And you have swords in case they do have, like Swords to Plowshares in case they have a fast depths. So yeah, I just feel like that matchup's pretty favorable. Not like massively favorable, but you know, it's a decent matchup. Yeah. I have also one of the other Nickfit decks, getting back to that I think is worth trying out, is the Jund Sacrifice list. I know that there's a player, I think it's Koika, who has been putting up some decent results with that deck. And so it's running things like Greater Gargadon, and obviously Veteran Explorer, and then it has like Terror of the Peaks and Titania. Okay, so this is Reanimator. Alright, this hand does nothing against Reanimator, and I'm on the draw, so this is pretty bad. I'm definitely going to mulligan this. And my opponent has also mulliganed. Alright, this hand does something. It's not good, but it does something. So I guess I'll keep this and bottom the Ugin. Yeah. Because Ugin's never seen the light of day, or probably not seeing the light of day in this matchup. Okay, my opponent is mulligan to 5. They can still just turn 1 you. I think they can turn 1 with like 4 cards. You need what? Mana, Dark Ritual, Entomb, and then, you know, either Reanimate or Animate Dead or Exhume. In the sideboard, I have some things for this deck. I have Surgical, 2 Surgicals, a Cling to Dust. I'll probably bring in the Oppo agents. And then I have Endurances. I don't know about Mindbreak Trap. I'm gonna play through this because my opponent's down to 3 cards. I don't think I'm gonna bring in Mindbreak Trap. I'll probably bring in Veils though. My opponent runs the elemental Grief. But my opponent runs Grief. So the plan here is to Cabal Therapy, and if my opponent does Entomb in response, I'll probably name Reanimate, because I think that's the best name. So if my opponent entombs, they did not, so they probably don't have Entomb, so I am going to name Reanimate. Cool. Got it. They had Entomb. That's surprising. Tried to trick me. So here they're going to Entomb. They get the Gristlebrand, and then, you know, I guess they hope to draw Reanimate. If they draw it, I'm in trouble. Okay, that's probably game here. They only get to do the drawing once, so I can draw something like Karakas here. Still in trouble. I can draw Swords to Plowshares. It's not stellar, but it's okay. Already down to 4 cards, but they have a sideboard full of gas. Yeah, that's fine. Pitch one of my Chain of Smogs. Down to 2. So Karakas is among my best draw. That's not going to do it. Yeah, I mean, I guess I fire off the Chain of Smog here, because I don't think there's anything else that's going to be good here. And if they turn it back at me, like, that's fine. Okay. So they can Gristlebrand draw here, refill their hand.
they reanimate something like Archon of Cruelty or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just in trouble here. Sure. 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 Okay, this is probably game. I don't think there's any way out of this problem. Sure. Yeah, that's not going to do it. Okay. Okay. Maybe the opposition agents aren't very good, because I don't have Dark Ritual in this matchup. In Dead Guy, I kind of like them, but I don't think I want them here. Force of Vigor, I would consider bringing in. I don't know. It can hit a Animate Dead. It can hit a Lotus Petal. Alright. Cool. So what's bad? Sylvan Library's bad. Like, it just doesn't matter in this matchup. I don't actually think even Ugin's not very good. Like, Professor Onyx is probably better. Even Grist might be better. Assassin's Trophies I like. Knight of Autumn I like. Definitely want Thoughtseizes. Yeah, this is a tough one. I think I do want Swords to Plowshares, especially since they have Archon of Cruelty. I don't really want to cut Eternal Witness. I feel like sometimes that's good card selection in this matchup. Maybe it is Collector Ouphe, even though it cuts them off of mana. Maybe it's just not where I want to be. Diabolic Intent might just be, like, you have to have a creature in play and then Diabolic Intent and then cast the spell. Yeah, maybe Diabolic Intent's not what I want. So that takes me to here. Still want the Veils. Arena Rector might just be a little slow. Maybe, I don't know, trim a Veteran Explorer? Yeah, I don't know. There's no Scavenging Ooze in this matchup. Yeah, maybe it is trim a vet. I guess I'll leave off the Force of Vigors. Let's start with this. See if I can do better. Yeah, this is not good because Endurance, I don't have a green card to go with it. So I think I definitely have to mulligan this. This is much better. This hand has a plan. It's okay. So I'll keep this. I'll bottom the plains because I have the lands here that I need. Alright. Sounds good. Alright. So my opponent has not revealed a Chancellor. So I'll just play Windswept Heath and pass. If my opponent has, like, they can still turn 1 me. But I guess they didn't. Alright. Okay. So I can Green Sun for Veteran Explorer here. I think that's okay. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll get a Savannah and a Bayou. I think that's better than leaving up Swords to Plowshares here. So I still have up Surgical. Alright. That's kind of funny. So if I play Phyrexian Tower, sacrifice, I get 2 black, 2 basics. I have 6. This takes me to 7, so I would still even need 1 more to hardcast the Ugin. Alright, so I think I'll just... I think I'll play the swamp here. Because I don't think this deck has any way to make me pitch the Phyrexian Tower. Alright. Alright. So next turn I can hardcast Ugin. It will give my opponent lands, which is definitely a problem. I don't really want to give my opponent lands. But I guess, well, we'll see what my opponent does. No red. Serenity. At the beginning of upkeep, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. They can't be regenerated. Sure. I'm not going to do anything with that. Alright, so I'm going to sack this. I guess I'll just get a forest. Yeah. Okay, do I want to give my opponent lands, or do I want to just keep the beatdown going? Like, my opponent might be able to multi-spell. It's risky. It's risky. And it really just... I guess I still want to do it. Like, I don't want to keep the Ugin in my hand forever. I'm pretty sure they have 2 basics. Yep. Alright. Let's see what my opponent's got here. Dark Ritual. Plenty of mana. Entomb. So they can do something like Entomb in response to Griselbrand, and then, well, yeah, Entomb something else maybe? Alright, so I'm going to Surgical here. So they can maybe respond with something. Okay. Or just concede. That works. So they brought in that thing. You know, makes me think the Oppo agents maybe aren't that bad. Yeah. Maybe they're not. Because those things really shut off Entomb really, really hard. Still, they're very slow. Yeah, maybe I trim on the Arena Rectors, even cut the Ugin. Because I don't think Ugin is the way that I'm winning this matchup. Like, it doesn't even kill any of the creatures that my opponent will get. So maybe I just go like that. Maybe that's better. Maybe even trim this one. Just have 1 Arena Rector for Onyx. Bring in a Force of Vigor. I think I like that better. Boarding out the combo, or not the combo, but boarding out the Arena Rectors, keeping in the Witherbloom Chain of Smog combo. The combo can still win turn 2. It's hard, but it can. Cool. Yeah. Alright, let's go with this. So Surgicals are good. Cling to Dust is not bad in this matchup either. Okay. This is okay. It's not great, but it has multiple pieces of interaction, so it's I think I'm going to keep it. worst case I can endurance. Okay, my opponent has a Chancellor. That's very unfortunate. Oh, two Chancellors. Two Chancellors. Alright. That's a big problem. So I'll have to throw maybe the Thoughtseize into Chancellor. I think that's the play. Okay, my opponent has pitched the Chancellors. Yeah, so I think here you throw the Thoughtseize into the Chancellors. Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's the plan. One of the interesting plays you can do is if I had a Veteran Explorer, you can like Cavern of Souls into the Veteran Explorer, and that will draw off the Chancellor triggers, and they can't be countered. So these are countering my spell here. So we'll just let that go. Leaves me with Endurance up. So my opponent has... Okay, so I have to Endurance here, and I guess I'll pitch the Assassin's Trophy. It leaves me vulnerable for a turn, but I think Eternal Witnessing back the Endurance is just stronger. I think that's better than just keeping the Assassin's Trophy. So I'm going to cast that with Evoke and pitch the Assassin's Trophy. Too bad it wasn't whatever the other one is. Exhume. Exhume is kind of a blowout with Endurance. Alright, so let's hope they don't have a second... They need to both fill the graveyard and put something in. And get something back, rather. Alright, so this is not terrible. Alright, so I'll get a Savannah. Green card. Nope. Alright, well, could be worse. Alright, so I'm going to Eternal Witness here. Would have been better if this was a green card. I can at least rep the Endurance here. So they'll think I have Endurance up, which of course I don't. They don't know that. And then next turn I will have the Endurance up. Alright, this is good. Okay. Should I go for the combo here? So I have a combo finish here. I can Phyrexian Tower, Green Sun Zenith, Chain of Smog. Try to go for the win. I think you go for it here. I don't think they have any way to interact with that. Yeah, so I'm gonna get it. Alright, so Phyrexian Tower. Black. Green Sun Zenith. Let's tap green. Witherbloom Apprentice. Chain of Smog. Alright, got there. Alright, got there with the combo at the very end. Still kind of sad to only win 2, but that's always nice. I think that my opponent there is the one of the trophy leaders. Let's see. Oh, maybe not anymore. They were the trophy leader, but maybe they're not anymore. Yeah, here they've fallen just outside of the top. Well, yeah, the deck felt okay. I think I made a couple punts, a couple mistakes, boarding out the Knight of Autumn. Like I got to keep that thing in. Of course they're gonna, especially if I've shown Arena Rector in game one, you got to keep Knight of Autumn in to try to hit a Leyline of the Void in game two. I don't know if I'd make too many changes. I might be able to, since I have 2 Diabolic Intents, I might be able to go down 1 Chain of Smog. I don't know. It does kind of dilute the combo a little bit. I don't really want to do that. Yeah, I don't know. The deck felt okay. From a sideboard perspective, I have no real complaints against the sideboard. The opposition agents maybe underperformed slightly. The more I think about them, and maybe my opinion on them was sort of like a little too high because of playing them with Dark Ritual is much stronger. But yeah, I mean I guess I drew it a turn late against Doomsday. Like maybe it would have been okay against Doomsday. Yeah, that Doomsday match was it was a good match. It was a close match, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe the opposition agents are the cut. I feel like the rest of this, everything else has its place. Maybe the prismatic endings should be something else. But you really need them against Delver. Yeah, I don't know. I might, I might just run the same 75 back if I were to test this again. Yeah, I thought the Doomsday matchup was good, but very close. The Delver matchup was just a tough matchup. I can't remember what I faced in round 3. Something that wrecked me. Oh, humans. Yeah, maybe I do need some sort of like maybe these opposition agents should be like Plague Engineers or maybe Pernicious Deed. That's probably better than opposition agent. Maybe I keep thinking because I feel like I've faced a lot of green-white depths, so maybe I'm just overcompensating for that. Maybe something like Pernicious Deed would be better, better than opposition agent. Yeah. So and then it was nice to get Madvine with it, and nice to get Reanimator. So that those worked out better than expected. Endurance overperformed for sure. Like multiple instances where Endurance was very strong, both against Madvine and Reanimator. And even it scooped a game against Doomsday. So just shows sort of the power of Endurance. That card's been fantastic. Yeah. Didn't face Urza's Saga, so I feel the Force of Vigors didn't really shine, but it just sort of wasn't their matchup. These are really good in that matchup. They're also good, I feel, in the the Dragon Stompy or Moon Stompy or whatever, that matchup, because they can hit the moons, they can hit maybe not a Trinisphere but a Chalice, they can hit a Mox. So I feel like Force of Vigor, we just didn't see the right matchup for that card. But everything else here I feel has its place. Probably the opposition agents, I'd replace them if I were to do this again with something like Pernicious Deed or Plague Engineer. Probably in this deck, I'd probably go with Pernicious Deed over Plague Engineer, for the reason that I think both the Rectors and the Veteran Explorers can function as blockers, and yet I want to destroy both of them. So the Pernicious Deed sometimes can double as killing your own stuff, and also Pernicious Deed, I feel like it's gotten a little bit better. It sort of was on its way out, but it's come back a little bit, because now there's just these Urza's Saga decks that just make a bunch of constructs. There's the Affinity deck where it's very strong in that matchup. Pernicious Deed destroys Urza's Saga itself, so you can sort of hit all the constructs, hit the Saga itself. It's a pretty good card right now. I feel it's sort of the best it's been in a long time. So yeah, I'd probably cut the opposition agents for Pernicious Deed and leave the 60 the same. But yeah, anyway, thank you for tuning in. If you ever do want to check out NickFit content, please check it out at nickfitmtg.com. There's sort of primers on a lot of the different variants of NickFit, from Bug to Abzan colors to Jund, some of the combo NickFit variants like Rectors, or the Sneak Fit or Scape Shift.
So, please check out the content there, and if you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks very much, and until next time, keep playing some jank. All right, have a good one.